So dear students, in this session we will continue with our fifth unit of concentration of solution, that is mole fraction. And this mole fraction is represented by small x. It is represented by small x. Okay, so what is this mole fraction? So fraction, in the sense, it is very clear that we are going to divide something. So mole fraction, see, in quantitative units of concentration of solution, we always bother for quantity or amount of solute. So definitely, once again we are going to know about number of moles of our component that is present in the solution. So therefore, mole fraction of a component is defined as number of moles of the component to the total number of moles of all the components. So it means to say that we can calculate mole fraction of solute as well as we can calculate the mole fraction of solvent also. Okay. So now let me repeat the definition. So mole fraction of a component is equal to number of moles of the component divided by total number of moles of all the components. Okay, let us write. So mole fraction of a component, is equal to number of moles of that component, number of moles of the component divided by total number of moles of all the components. So now we can so even if you consider a simple binary solution in which minimum of two components are present, you can calculate mole fraction for solute as well as solvent. So now in order to understand this one, so consider a binary solution. A binary solution means a homogeneous mixture of two components, only two components. So in that binary mixture, so let us consider there are two components A and B. So let us consider number of moles of A as Na and number of moles of B as Nb. Then let us see how to calculate mole fraction of A and B. Okay. So now for example, in a binary solution, solution of A and B. So here A and B are two components. Say A and B are two components which are present in our binary mixture. So now consider number of moles of A. Number of moles of A is equal to, so number of mole generally represented by small n. So I will write subscript A. So it is number of moles of A. So similarly, number of moles of B, number of moles of component B is equal to, say it is NB. So now we can calculate mole fraction of component A like this. So now mole fraction of A so mole fraction of A can be represented as X subscript A, XA. So that is equal to, so number of moles of the component, see the definition, number of moles of the component. So what is our component? A here. So number of moles of the component means it is Na divided by total number of moles of the component means we have two components. So Na plus Nb we have to do now. So Na plus Nb. So this is the mole fraction of component A. So similarly we can calculate mole fraction of component B. Mole fraction of B is equal to, so that is represented by Xb, that is equal to Nb, because number of moles of B is represented by Nb, Nb divided by Na plus Nb. So this is the mole fraction of B. So once again if you observe here, see we have Xa is equal to Na divided by Na plus Nb, Xb is equal to Nb divided by Na plus Nb. In both the cases numerator remains same. So let us add mole fraction of these two components. So let me add the mole fraction of A and B. So that is Xa plus Xb. Xa plus Xb is equal to, if you take the LCM of both Xa plus Xb, then you are going to get 1. So this is Na divided by Na plus Nb plus Nb divided by Na plus Nb. So now as we have a common LCM here, so that's why in numerator you will get Na plus Nb, even in denominator also you will get Na plus Nb. So that's why this is equal to 1. So now mole fraction of all the components present in a given solution is always equal to 1. Mole fraction of all the components, not only two components, here two components because I have taken a binary solution. Even if I take a ternary solution where you will get three different components, mole fraction of all the three, the sum of mole fraction of all the components of a solution is always equal to 1. It means to say that if you know the mole fraction of one component, easily you can calculate the mole fraction of another component. If you know Xa, you can easily calculate Xb. Xb is equal to 1 minus Xa. Similarly, you can calculate Xa when you know value of Xb. So that type of one more questions may appear. So in a given solution, say the mole fraction of component A is 0.5, what will be the mole fraction of component B? Like that a question may appear for 1 mark. So this is about the definition and calculation of mole fraction. So dear students, let us know whether it depends upon temperature or not. So once again it is very simple, you can understand very easily, because see mole fraction depends upon what? Number of moles. So moles, how to calculate moles? Moles is equal to mass divided by molar mass. Means moles value mainly depends upon the mass, and we know that mass is not varied by temperature. So mass is not going to change with temperature. So that's why mole fraction is temperature independent quantity. So therefore mole fraction is temperature independent quantity. So mole fraction is temperature independent quantity. So in order to understand this mole fraction and its calculation, let us solve a problem to understand the. So here is a problem on mole fraction. So the problem goes like this: calculate the mole fraction of ethylene glycol with molecular formula C2H6O2 in a solution containing 20% ethylene glycol by mass. 20% ethylene glycol by mass. Okay. So in order to calculate mole fraction, what are the main quantities we need is, to calculate mole fraction of ethylene glycol, we must have number of moles of ethylene glycol. Number of moles of ethylene glycol. So how to calculate number of moles of ethylene glycol here means, see, directly it is not given the number of moles of ethylene glycol. So first we will calculate number of moles of ethylene glycol, and another component is water here, because we are preparing solution in water. So we have to calculate number of moles of ethylene glycol as well as number of moles of water. So how to calculate number of moles? In order to calculate number of moles, we need to know what is the mass and molar mass given. What is the mass and molar mass given? So here is the sentence. First you need to understand this one. 20% ethylene glycol by mass. 20% ethylene glycol by mass means mass percentage of ethylene glycol is given. So I have already told you while discussing mass percentage. 20% ethylene glycol by mass means 20 grams of ethylene glycol is present in 80 grams of water. That is the meaning of this sentence. First you need to understand that one. Okay. So now solution. So 20% ethylene glycol by mass. So I am underlining this one so that you can understand easily. So 20% ethylene glycol means mass of ethylene glycol. So mass of C2H6O2, from this sentence it is 20 gram, and mass of water H2O, that is equal to 80 gram. I have understood this sentence, I have understood these values from this sentence, 20% ethylene glycol by mass. What is the another thing to calculate number of moles of ethylene glycol means, we need to know its molar mass, because we know the molar mass of water, it is 18 gram per mole. So what about the molar mass of ethylene glycol, that we need to know. So now molar mass or molecular mass, you can say molar mass of ethylene glycol C2H6O2 is equal to, see here 2 carbon atoms, so 2 into 12 plus, so atomic mass of hydrogen is 1, so 6 hydrogens are there, so 6 into 1 plus, so 2 oxygens are there, and atomic mass of oxygen is 16, so 2 into 16. So 24, 30 plus 32, that is 62 gram per mole. So this is the molar mass of ethylene glycol. Now I can easily calculate number of moles of ethylene glycol, because I know the mass, I know the molar mass, just to divide it I will get moles of ethylene glycol. Moles of ethylene glycol. Moles of C2H6O2, that is nothing but number of moles I will represent by N C2H6O2 is equal to mass by molar mass. What is mass? It is 20 gram, and molar mass is 62 gram per mole. So therefore, so if you divide this one, you will get 0.322 moles. So similarly, I need to calculate number of moles of water also. So moles of water is equal to moles of water. How can I represent? N of H2O is equal to, so what is the mass? It is 80 gram. I have not calculated the molar mass of water, because we know 2 plus 16 it is 18. So 80 gram divided by 18 gram per mole. 18 gram per mole, that is equal to 4.44. Now we have number of moles of ethylene glycol and number of moles of water. Now you can easily calculate mole fraction of ethylene glycol. So how can we? So now mole fraction of ethylene glycol is equal to mole fraction. So for mole fraction I will represent by small x, mole fraction of C2H6O2 is equal to, so number of moles of ethylene glycol I have to take, so that is N of C2H6O2 plus divided by N of C2H6O2 plus N of H2O I have to take. So what is the number of moles of ethylene glycol? So number of moles of ethylene glycol is, it is 0.322 and once again 0.322 plus 4.444, that is equal to, if you solve this one you will get 0.068. 0.068. So this is the value of mole fraction. Dear students, remember mole fraction is a unitless quantity, because in numerator as well as denominator we have number of moles. Moles gets cancelled, so it is unitless. So I got, what I got? Mole fraction of ethylene glycol is equal to 0.068. So only the question asked is, we have to calculate mole fraction of ethylene glycol. Even we can calculate mole fraction of water also, because we know the mole fraction of all the components. Mole fraction of all the components is always equal to 1. So therefore I can calculate the mole fraction of water also. Mole fraction of water, how can I calculate means? So mole fraction of water, X of H2O is equal to 1 minus mole fraction of ethylene glycol. So therefore, so 1 minus 0.068, that is equal to 0.932. 0.932, that is the mole fraction of water. Actually it has not been asked in our problem, but you should understand, when we know the mole fraction of one component, easily you can calculate the mole fraction of another component, because mole fraction of both components is always equal to 1, that you know. So this is about mole fraction and a problem on it. So now let us discuss second and important units of concentration of solution, that is molarity. Next important unit of concentration of solution is molarity, because most of the solution concentration of solution is generally expressed in molarity. Okay, see what is this molarity? Let us understand. Molarity means, see the first term indicating it is made up of moles. Okay, so now molarity is defined as, it is the number of moles of solute. We are always bothering for solute. While I was discussing mole fraction, I told we have to calculate the number of moles of components. Components are nothing but solute and solvent. So similarly here also we can calculate the molarity for solute. How many moles of solute is present in the given solution can be calculated by the term molarity. So definition is very simple. So number of moles of solute present in 1 liter of its solution. So in 1 liter of solution, how many moles of solute is present, that is only called molarity. So it is defined as number of moles of solute present in 1 liter of its solution. So it is defined as number of moles of solutes, present in 1 liter of its solution. So now if you observe the definition, so molarity can be written as molarity can be written as. So molarity is equal to, see, we have number of moles of solute, that is our numerator. So number of moles of solute, or simply you can write moles of solute. So what is there in the denominator means, see, we have 1 liter of its solution. We are considering the volume of solution. What is that 1 liter? That 1 liter is the volume. So we need to consider the volume of solution. So that's why volume of solution, so that must be in liters. So therefore volume of solution in liters, volume of solution in liters. According to this formula, if I go to the unit of molarity, it will be very simple. See, what is the SI unit present in the numerator? It is mole. And in denominator, what is the unit we will be having? It is liter. So mole per liter. So unit of molarity is we can express. So one unit is mole per liter. So another unit we can represent. See, volume of solution I have taken as liter. 1 liter is equal to 1 dm cube, decimeter cube. So that's why even you can express mole per dm cube. Mole per dm cube is the unit. Unit of molarity is either you can express in mole per liter or in mole per dm cube. So now, see, in the numerator we are having number of moles of solute. In denominator, volume of solutions we have. So further, molarity is equal to, see, in numerator we are having number of moles of solute. So students, in my solution chapter, I will always express solute as component 2 and solvent as component 1. So number of moles of solute means I will represent this one as N2. So subscript 2 indicates it is solute. Okay, and volume of the solution in liters, we should be in liters. So this is the generalization. Once again let us split it. So what is N2? Number of moles of solute. How can we calculate? N2 is equal to mass of solute divided by molar mass of solute. W2 divided by M2. So therefore molarity can be expressed as, see, N2 can be written as W2 divided by M2, and volume, suppose if it is given in milliliter, ml, suppose the volume is given in ml, in order to calculate into liter, what we are going to do? We are going to divide it by 1000. So that's why, suppose V is in ml, then we have to divide it by 1000. Okay, so therefore a numerical formula for molarity can be written as W2 into 1000 after rearranging. So M2 into V must be in ml. It should be in milliliter because we have taken the conversion factor 1000 here. So this is the formula to calculate molarity. Or simply we can calculate by using this formula number of moles of solute divided by volume of solution in liters. So now let us come to effect of temperature on molarity. So dear students, earlier also I have told you, whenever we consider volume of solution, that is surely going to change with temperature. So you might have understood that molarity is also going to change with temperature. So in our previous PU examination, the question is already been asked, how molarity changes or how molarity varies with temperature, a question is there. Okay, so let us understand the effect of temperature. So dear students, see here in the denominator we are having volume of solution. So this volume of solution is going to change. Volume of solution changes with temperature. if you increase the temperature of the solution, so volume of solution increases because of thermal expansion of liquids. So generally liquids expands on heating. So that's why with increase in temperature the volume of solution increases. If the volume of solution increases, then molarity decreases. So if I increase the temperature, volume of solution increases. If volume of solution increases, then molarity decreases. It means to say that molarity and temperature, they are inversely related. Effect of temperature, it is a very important point. Effect of temperature. So molarity varies inversely with temperature. Molarity varies inversely with temperature. So mathematically I can write like this. So in words I can write, so molarity depends upon temperature. How it depends? How it varies means it varies inversely. So molarity decreases with increase in temperature. Or I can say molarity increases with decrease in temperature. That is what the inverse relation. So molarity varies inversely with the temperature. So for 1 mark, how molarity varies with temperature? So molarity varies inversely with temperature, you can write, or molarity decreases with increase in temperature, or molarity increases with decrease in temperature also you can write, no problem at all. So now generally another 1 mark question is appearing for PU exam. Name the concentration unit of solution which is temperature dependent or temperature independent. Such type of questions may also appear for 1 mark. So remember, this molarity is a temperature dependent. It is temperature dependent quantity. Molarity is temperature dependent. Already it is clear. Molarity is temperature dependent quantity. So let us solve a simple 2 mark problem to understand how to calculate the molarity of a. Here is a problem on molarity. The problem goes like this: calculate the molarity of a solution containing 5 gram NaOH in 450 ml solution. So very simple one. So here NaOH is dissolved in water. So that's why NaOH is a solute here. See, molarity is equal to number of moles of solute, means we need to calculate number of moles of NaOH first, then the volume of solution is given in ml, that we need to convert in liters. So very simple. Solution. So in order to calculate number of moles of NaOH, I must know molar mass of NaOH. So first I will calculate molar mass. So molar mass or molecular mass of NaOH is equal to sodium 23 plus oxygen 16 plus hydrogen 1. So that is equal to 40 gram per mole is the molar mass of NaOH. 40 gram per mole is the molar mass of NaOH. Now I can calculate moles of NaOH. That is our numerator. Moles of NaOH is equal to mass divided by molar mass. So what is mass given? See here, 5 gram, that is the mass. So 5 gram divided by 40 gram per mole. This is the number of moles of solute. Number of moles of NaOH, because NaOH is solute here. So that is equal to 0.125 mole. So this is our numerator now, because molarity is equal to moles of NaOH is the part of our answer. So in denominator we are having volume of solution in liters. So therefore volume of solution in liters is equal to, it is given in ml, milliliter, it is given in milliliter. So divided by 1000 you will get in liters. So 450 divided by 1000 is equal to 0.450 liters. So now we have numerator as well as denominator. Just divide it, you will get answer. So molarity capital M is equal to moles of NaOH divided by volume of solution in liters. Okay, already it is there, just to substitute. So moles of NaOH is 0.125 mole and volume of solution in liter is 0.450 liters. So you will get the answer 0.278 mole per liter. So this is how we can calculate molarity, and also I have given another formula to calculate molarity that will be helpful even for CET and NEET examination. So molarity can also be calculated as W2 into 1000 divided by M2, molar mass of solute, into V in ml, volume of solution in ml. So by calculating using that formula also you will get the same results, you can cross check. So this is about a problem on molarity. So our next concept is molality. Okay, so next one, once again important units of concentration of solution, that is molality represented by small m. See, molarity I have represented by capital M, whereas molality is represented by small m. So see, the name itself contain once again mole, the first term indicate mole. So moles of solute is common here. In molarity how we have defined? Number of moles of solute present in 1 liter of solution I have defined like that. So now here instead of taking volume of solution, we will take mass of solvent. So therefore the definition of molality will be, it is the number of moles of solute present in 1 kilogram or 1 kg of solvent. Remember, in molality I am focusing on mass of solvent, not mass of solution. So that we need to remember, it is once again important for examination. Number of moles of solute present in 1 kg of solvent is called molality. It is the number of moles of solute present in 1 kg of or kilogram, you can write 1 kg of solvent. See, I am focusing on solvent here, whereas we have taken volume of solution in case of molarity, that is the change. So number of moles of solute present in 1 kg or kilogram of solvent. So now molality small m can be given as, so numerator will remain same because once again we are having number of moles of solute. So therefore in numerator number of moles of solute, that is common, number of moles of solute. See, in molarity we are having liters, that is the volume of solution. So here kg is the unit of what? Unit of mass. So mass of what? Mass of solvent. So mass of solvent in kg, mass of solvent in kg. Okay, so from this it will be very clear that you can able to write the unit. So unit of molality, unit of small m, molality is, see in the numerator what we have? Unit mole. In denominator we are having kg. So therefore the unit is mole per kg. Mole per kg is the unit of molality. Okay. So likewise we can calculate by using a numerical formula for molality. See, molality is equal to, once again, number of moles of solute, say that is represented by N2. Here mass of solvent in kg. So mass of solvent means W1 is the mass of solvent. It should be in kg. Okay. So this is the short formula. We know that N2 is equal to, N2 number of moles of solute is equal to mass by molar mass, W2 divided by M2. If I want to calculate W1, if it is in grams, I will divide it by 1000. So therefore molality is equal to, what is the value of N2? W2 divided by M2 whole divided by W1 if it is in grams, divided by 1000 to get in kg. So mass, why we are dividing by 1000? In order to convert it into kg, because we need mass of solvent in kg. So that is the simple thing. So rearrange it, you will get the formula of molality. So W2 into 1000 divided by W1, sorry, M2 into W1, the W1 must be in grams. So this is the formula for molality. So next I am discussing effect of temperature. It is very simple. See this molality definition. We have number of moles in the numerator and we have mass of solvent in denominator. Number of moles, how can we calculate? Mass by molar mass, means moles also depends upon mass. In denominator also we are having mass. Mass is not going to change with temperature. So therefore molarity is temperature independent quantity. Remember, molarity inversely varies with temperature, I have told you. Now molality, it is independent of temperature. So this is temperature independent quantity. It is temperature independent quantity. Molality is temperature independent quantity. Temperature independent quantity. Okay. So now once again, in order to understand how to calculate molality of a solution, consider a very simple problem. Problem goes like this. Calculate the molality of 2.5 gram of ethanoic acid, that is nothing but acetic acid, CH3COOH, in 75 gram of benzene. So in solution chapter, soon after reading the question, you must be capable of distinguishing which is solute and which is solvent. Dear students, remember my first class, so in which I have cleared you that in solution the component which is present in smaller quantity is always solute, and a component that is present in larger quantity is always a solvent, like that. Even by taking the mass also you can easily distinguish which one is a solute and which one is a solvent. if you read this problem, you will come to know ethanoic acid CH3COOH is a solute here and benzene is a solvent here. So now let us calculate molality. Let us calculate molality. So first we need to calculate molar mass of ethanoic acid, because first we have to calculate number of moles of ethanoic acid. Okay, solution. Molar mass of ethanoic acid. Let us write the formula like this: C2H4O2. I can write like this. So 2 carbons, so 2 into 12 plus 4 hydrogens, so 4 into 1 plus 2 oxygens, so 2 into atomic mass of oxygen is 16. Okay, 24 plus 4, 28 plus 32, 16 into 2, 32. So like that 28 plus 32, it will be 60 gram per mole is the molar mass of ethanoic acid. What I need to calculate? I have to calculate number of moles of ethanoic acid. That is our numerator. So now number of moles of ethanoic acid. See, for CH3COOH only I have written as C2H4O2. So don't think why sir has taken this one. C2H4O2 is equal to number of moles means what? Mass by molar mass. What is mass? It is given in the problem. 2.5 gram divided by, what is its molar mass? 60 gram per mole. So therefore the number of moles of ethanoic acid is 0.0417 moles. Okay, so this is our numerator. In denominator, what we need to have? Mass of solvent. What is our solvent? It is benzene. Mass of solvent in kg. Okay, so mass of benzene, because our solvent is benzene, mass of benzene in kg is equal to, so it is given in grams. How many grams? It is given 75 grams divided by 1000 you need to do, because we need it in kilograms. Okay, so that's why I have divided by 1000. So you will get 0.075 kg. So number of moles of ethanoic acid, that is our numerator. Mass of benzene in kg is in our denominator. So we have both numerator and denominator. Just divide it, you will get the value of molality. Okay. Now molality small m is equal to, so molality is equal to moles of ethylene glycol, mass of benzene in kg. Directly I am substituting. So 0.0417 mole divided by 0.075 kg, that is equal to 0.556. What is the unit? Mole per kg. So 0.556 mole per kg is the solution for this problem. So these type of simple 2-mark problems may be asked in theory, as well as you may get such type of problems in CET also.